While it is difficult to extradite Simon Ekpa to Nigeria, Vince Onyekwelu analyzes the issues. And now to the news info. The recent arrest of Simon Ekpa, a pro-Biafra agitator in Finland, has sparked debate about the possibility of his extradition to Nigeria. According to Vince Onyekwelu, a former British police officer and national security risk strategist, the process is legally feasible, but highly complicated. In an interview with Arise News, Onyekwelu stated that while extradition is almost impossible, though not 100% impossible, several legal and procedural hurdles must be addressed before such an outcome can be realized. One of the primary challenges lies in the absence of an extradition treaty between Finland and Nigeria. This means that Finnish authorities have jurisdiction over Ekpa's case and the right to prosecute him for any charges brought against him. Onyekwelu emphasized that this step is essential to ensure due diligence within Finland's legal framework. Furthermore, the Criminal Justice of the European Union (CJEU) would need to evaluate the case before approving any potential extradition, adding another layer of complexity. The European legal system would assess two critical factors: the charges against Ekpa and his fundamental rights as an individual. Onyekwelu explained that Ekpa must answer accusations such as inciting violence and advocating for self-determination for Biafra within a court of law. Beyond the specifics of the charges, the CJEU would also examine whether extraditing him to Nigeria aligns with European principles of human rights and justice. Well, because he's a citizen of Finland, they have a right over him to not extradite him. So I really know it's going to be hard to extradite him to Nigeria. But still, maybe he should face the consequences of his actions over there. Because in Nigeria, we know that we are in a lawless country. Even though I know that some Igbos are not supportive of Simon Ekpa, it still doesn't change the fact that if he's probably brought to Nigeria, he would not actually face the consequences of his actions or of what he did. He can easily buy the judiciary because those ones, they are easily bought. But in Finland, I'm sure that their system is working and they will listen to him, and the fact that he has his own human rights, so that he will not go and suffer for what he did not do or whatever. I don't know, Sha. But still, bringing him down to Nigeria might scatter everything to me. So I think he should be there in Finland and face the consequences of his action if it is going to be difficult to extradite him to Nigeria. And even extraditing him to Nigeria might means that he might not even face the consequences of his actions. Because I know that most Igbos, they don't support him. Me too, I don't really vibe with him. To me, I feel like he's sabotaging this Biafra nation fight. He's sabotaging it. He doesn't really want it to happen, or probably he doesn't want Nnamdi Kanu to be out of prison the way he keeps going and inciting violence and everything. So, I don't know. Human rights concerns could significantly influence his decision. Nigeria's human rights records, particularly regarding his treatment of political detainees and activists, is expected to be scrutinized. Onyekwelu highlighted this point, saying, "The Chief of Defense Staff should go home, relax, and sleep because the Finnish authorities and the CJEU have to consider the human rights records in Nigeria as a country." Exactly. Professionally speaking, the chances are possible to extradite Simon Ekpa to Nigeria. However, in my opinion, it is almost impossible, though not 100% impossible, because 1, there is no extradition treaty between Finland and Nigeria. Number 2, the Finnish authorities have every right to take him to court. Exactly. They do. To answer to the charges against him, and that is perfect. That is due diligence, and afterwards, the CJEU. The Criminal Justice of the European Union also have a right under the European human rights to also test if he is suitable to be extradited to Nigeria based on 1, the charges against him, and number 2, the fundamentals, because he has to defend himself in the court of law. You cannot just bring charges against him without him answering in response to the reason why he is inviting violence, to the fundamental why he thinks there is reason for him to request for self-determination for the people of Biafra. The Criminal Court of Justice of the European Union have to check if they believe in self-determination, if they believe in human rights. That one is, but there's no human rights in this country. There's no human rights. Because probably some people have personal vendetta against him, and they will send him to court and all of that. So I don't know, that human rights talk. It's out of it in this country. There is no human rights in this country. If they believe in human rights abuses, because bringing that man to Nigeria is a great idea, but the chief of defense staff should go home, relax and sleep, because they have to consider the human rights records in Nigeria as a country. Alright, no problem. Isaiah Fakunle says, when late Ojukwu warned that nobody should bring out war in Southeast again, and you have not learned any lessons from Ojukwu statements. They did not, or this Simon Ekpa especially. The way he incites violence, I do not like it at all. I do not. Glory Chukwudu says, extraditing Simon to Nigeria is not important. I think what is important is good governance and equal rights in Nigeria and love of God to reign in every heart and leaders. Nigerians need peace this time, not war or more hardship, rather peace and showing love to each other. I advise the president to focus on his works of making Nigeria a better place to stay. Thanks. You think the president is going to make Nigeria a better place to stay? Be deceiving yourself there. Kenneth Odoemena says, as far as I'm concerned, if Emeke is in prison and Simon Ekpa follows to be in any detention in Nigeria, we should all be knocking on the door of the Republic of Benin and Ghana as arriving refugees. Exactly. So I think Simon Ekpa should be in Finland, because if they bring him to Nigeria, most of his supporters will definitely come out and it will be war. It is definitely going to be war. Even though I know that some people are not in alliance with what Simon Ekpa is doing, but still, he still has some supporters. Is what's it called? ESN, whatever. Is ESN group. So those ones will come outside and will start violence all over again. So I think it is better that he remains in Finland. Let them judge him there. Since he's their citizen, he should face the consequences of his action, inciting violence over there. He should remain there. I think that is better. Really. Carlo Okon says, the last stanza of the old or new national anthem, paragraph 2 says, to build a nation where no man is oppressed, individual is being oppressed in all ramifications with all the scenarios. Anybody can demand for separation. We are oppressed. But it's not because of that. That is why they arrested him in Finland. At least it is not Nigeria that asked Finland to arrest him. Or was it Nigerian people that told them to arrest him? They can see that he's actually inciting violence. That is why they arrested him. This is not a matter of oppression. On Simon Ekpa's case, so it is not a matter of oppression. For Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, yes, I can accept that they are oppressing Nnamdi Kanu. But Simon Ekpa, he has been inciting violence a whole lot of time. So really, he needs to be, they need to break his leg. They need to bend him small to know that you can't be inciting violence here and there. Killing your own brothers and sisters just because you want to fight for Biafra. It doesn't make any sense. So he should face the consequences of his actions. Olabisi Olagoke said, I've been telling you guys that Simon Ekpa will be arrested soon. Now I'm telling you again, he will be extradited very soon. If they extradite him, really, he might cause war. It might cause problems. So I think he should remain in Finland. My listeners, what do you think? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to like, to share and subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.